Hi, good evening. Welcome to Business Live. My name is Darryl Kwao. Coming up, Ghana Statistical Service projects to enumerate more than 31 million people in the next housing census, slated for April 2021. Also coming up, Ghana Commodity Exchange formally lists local rice onto its platform as it targets a complete transformation of the commodity value chain. Plus, the Goldfields Ghana Limited procures advanced collision avoidance system to reduce mining accidents. Thanks for being with us. Details right after this break. The Ghana Statistical Service is projecting to enumerate more than 31 million people in the next housing census, which is due in April next year. The program, which was postponed due to the COVID-19 outbreak, is expected to run through a 15-day period, after which the Statistical Service will come up with a report. Here's more in this report.
The census will be used by government to formulate policies and programs for the next 10 years, after which another one will be conducted per the United Nations guidelines. Engaging master trainers of the housing census in Winnipeg, government statistician Professor Samuel Kobna Enim assured that all necessary provisions, including financial resources, have been provided for the program and ready to take off. He was, however, quick to add that the outbreak of the coronavirus has created additional financing gap. His outfit has started engagements with government in order to receive funding.
We've had more geospatial resources that is helping us validate the demarcation exercise that we did. Moving into the area of financial preparedness, prior to the COVID-19, as we indicated, the government had provided resources through a World Bank facility for the conduct of the 2021 population housing census. Indeed, with the onset of the COVID, it's introduced other elements of cost, i.e. the PPEs that are sent 5,000 field officers will be needing to ensure respondents that we are adhering fully to the COVID-19 protocols. That has led to a funding gap of $12.6 million US. We've already initiated discussions with the Ministry of Finance, and we are pretty optimistic that this funding gap will be covered.
Head of Census Methodology, Owusu Keja, expressed the team's readiness to undertake the exercise.
We want our trainees to make sure that they grasp and to make sure that we all have the same level of understanding. And so sometimes people come in with their own understanding, and so deschooling them sometimes becomes a challenge. And that's what consistently we have tried to do. And then also getting the tablets was an issue because of the COVID that reared its head, but we have overcome that challenge. Okay.
More than 1,000 personnel are expected to undertake the exercise from April next year.
Local rice has finally been included onto the Ghana Commodity Exchange in what is considered a timely move to transform Ghana's rice value chain. This makes the commodity the fifth to list on the Ghana Commodity Exchange after maize, millet, sorghum, and other commodities. Here's Chief Operations Officer of the exchange, Robert Dowuna-Owu.
We are privileged to add yet another commodity, straight milled rice. You would agree with me that the local rice industry is very key to the commodity value chains in Ghana, with almost all regions in Ghana cultivating rice. Rice in itself, being a staple food for the country, is therefore very important. It needs to be well developed to ensure that the rice value chain benefits from the structured marketing structures that the Ghana Commodity Exchange offers. Ladies and gentlemen, I see very familiar faces here, but some of you have also not been here before, and therefore not had the opportunity to experience the magic that the Ghana Commodity Exchange trading systems provide. Today, I'm pleased to say you'll be part of the history being made.
While my colleague Charles Aite also engaged the CEO of the Ghana Commodity Exchange, Tushi Ivori, on varied topics, including what the listing means for the future of Ghana's rice industry.
So we have witnessed the historic listing of milled rice onto the best. What exactly does this mean for the entire value chain?
It simply means that people can now come to a centralized platform to sell or to buy rice. They don't have to go around markets looking for it because we bring buyers and sellers together. And once you're integrated within our trading platform, trades can be done as quickly as, a few seconds. So we're making life a little bit easier when it comes to the marketing of rice after post-production. Before that, it also means that we're helping when it comes to storage and warehousing. So today you can find rice in the open market, but sometimes farmers will produce their rice, but they have nowhere to store it. So, they struggle, they'll lose some of it to post-harvest losses. Now, the more warehouses we bring on board, they can store their rice until they're ready to sell, and then hopefully get better markets, more fair and transparent pricing. Yeah.
Of course, it's very timely, the initiative that you've taken, because we continue to report cases of a rice glut across the country and issues of post-harvest losses. But how best can this transform the face of rice farming in Ghana?
I think the more we're able to produce, given that we're able to store the rice, we can start to actually have access to local rice or Ghana rice that we can consume. After that, if we have excess, we can actually start to export. Today, we say that we need to import rice. On the one hand, it's because we're not producing enough, but at the same time, some of what's being produced is being lost, to post-harvest losses, poor storage conditions. So this is just one of the, let's say, interventions that's coming to help to improve the value chain. We can store rice, not lose it to losses just because of poor storage conditions, sell it within our market, consume it, and continue to increase production so that we can eventually even export some good rice.
Well, this is a platform that brings buyers and sellers, and from the standpoint of sellers, they're looking at quality. How is the platform insisting on quality and even helping rice farmers to have their products much more of a, that particular spec that meets the demand of the sellers?
Okay, I think there are two things. When we talk about quality, there's literally the basic quality. You want to make sure that this rice is clean, it's devoid of insects, foreign matter. So we ensure that. That's part of our our premise.
Sure.
Everything that is sold through the exchange is guaranteed for quality. It means that it's certified by the Ghana Commodity Exchange. Before that, it's actually certified. Our warehouses are certified by the Ghana Standards Authority and by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're licensed. So they make sure that we stick to all of these rigorous procedures when it comes to quality. So anyone coming to buy through the exchange, that is our stamp of guarantee. We insure the commodities even in the warehouses. So if there's going to be any degradation in terms of quality, the exchange will make good. There is not a single buyer that will buy 1 grain of rice that will be of a quality that they have not paid for. That is our guarantee.
Great. Yeah. But Tushi, we're having this discussion in the wake of a low consumption rate of local rice. How do you balance this deficit?
So that's the second part of when we talked about quality. I'd say that we can produce 100% quality rice in Ghana. Now there are types and varieties of rice. So people talk about importing rice or preferring perfumed rice and Thai rice. This is really just about variants. And this is when you come to production, we can produce perfumed rice. We can produce it's not basmati, that's a brand from India, but we can produce different types of rice. So the more the rice value chain is developed, I guess the more investors are willing to invest in different types of mills to produce these different variants that Ghanaians are growing to love. It's 100% possible. So this is a starting point. At least first we make sure that we can produce more rice for people to actually consume. Then we can produce the types of varieties that people want. So I think the exchange is one player, but this actually opens doors to so many other businessmen and women who are interested in even looking at rice production and marketing.
I must add that we're not just having this discussion on the trade platform, the Ghana Commodity Exchange, but also the Secretariat of the Continental Free Trade Agreement area. And it begs the question about the various processes and even interventions you're making, repositioning yourself to take advantage of this single African market.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and it's actually exciting times. We've had meetings with the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat, and this is certainly an opportunity that everyone sees as a positive one for the development of this regional trade bloc. The commodity exchange is a platform that has been launched in Ghana, but it is a virtual platform, and we can access buyers and sellers literally anywhere in the world. And our plan was to start in Ghana, make sure that our systems are robust and we can benefit the Ghanaian market access, very quickly move to cross-border trading and regional trading, or let's say ECOWAS trading, and then definitely across Africa. That is our intention, and we're certainly going to be working with the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat to help as far as commodities trading, quality, standardized, regulated trade is concerned.
Great. You know, so far we have 5 commodities on the platform. What's going to be the future in terms of the other commodities? When are we going to have them on board?
So hopefully we'll invite you again sometime in Q1. We're hoping to list cashew. Okay. So the next phase is to start listing cash crops, starting with cashew. You know, the government is also putting a lot of emphasis behind cash crops or tree crops. You've got cashew, coconut, coffee, and there are lots of plans to develop these cash crops. This will be beneficial not for the market actors alone, but honestly for the economy as a whole. If you look at a product like cashew, more than 90% of it is going outside Ghana. So if you can think about the types of revenues that the country can generate by operating these trades through a structured trading platform and making sure that farmers are getting the value that they deserve for their cashew, which is mostly being bought by foreign buyers. So yes, that's the next step.
Great. Finally, how are you liaising with the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, of which they also share, you know,
the building
with you, in terms of the national exports promotion, you know, development strategy? How are you liaising with them on this?
Actually, just a couple of months ago, we started to engage in some deep discussions, because the first commodities that we listed, as you'll recall, the grains, maize, and so on, it was really about supporting food security crops and making sure that we can add a certain level of value to them. And as we're entering into this phase, which is the cash crops, which are mostly going for exports, we knew that the Ghana Export Promotion Authority would be one of our partners. So we've actually started to have meetings how we can develop this value chain together, working through this structured trading platform. It's great to be situated here. We're working very closely with GEPA, with Exim Bank, with African Continental Free Trade Secretariat.
That's great. Indeed a treasure trove. But let's end with 2021. The challenges you faced in 2020. We had COVID-19, we had disruption to export margins. But where do you see the challenges and where do you foresee the future?
2021, well, honestly, after 2020, it's difficult to look at 2021 and think of challenges. Everyone is looking more hopeful, looking towards the new year with a much more optimistic outlook. One of the positive things we did see for this year, because although COVID hit, lockdown struck, a lot of activity went down. It affected the exchange as well. But one of the positive things we saw was that at the very least we have an electronic trading platform, which means that you can actually trade from anywhere. You didn't have to come here physically to trade. So we started to see how we can even accelerate the training of participants so that wherever they are, they can trade from there. One of the things we need to do is to accelerate the infrastructure acquisition. So the more warehouses we have, the more different farmers in different areas can benefit. The idea is that we situate warehouses in production areas. So where it's maize, strong, heavy in Ashanti, Brongahafo, northern regions, where it's rice, so this is really the big work that we have to do. It's more about scaling up our infrastructure so that the platform can benefit a lot more farmers and a lot more traders and market actors.
Great conversation there with the CEO of the Ghana Commodity Exchange, Tushi Ivowi. Just so you know that the Commodity Exchange was started in November 2018, and it's a marketplace where buyers and sellers transact business through structured pricing regimes. Now, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has launched the Climate Smart Cocoa Agroforestry Research in Ghana project to enhance cocoa sustainability. Now, the project seeks to determine the climate smartness of existing cocoa varieties, cocoa nutrition, shade trees, as well as farmers' perspectives on social resilience on cocoa agroforestry. It is meant to improve yield, income, and adaptation in cocoa landscapes in Ghana. Kwesi Debra has more in this report.
Cocoa gives jobs to approximately 1 million smallholder farmers in Ghana and contributes to about 10% of agricultural GDP. The principal investigator, Dr. Victor Response, revealed the project was birthed by some researchers through their interaction with cocoa farmers.
ClimCAC project seeks to assess the climate smartness of existing cocoa varieties and the shade trees that are in the cocoa, and also the way the cocoa is fed. And then we also looking at the farmers' resilience, the practices they have, and to be able to, and then at the same time, upload their phones and so on for information that they can all use all these results, and at the same time promote the development of their cocoa in terms of yield, in terms of climate change resilience, and then also ensuring the total resilience of the cocoa landscape in Ghana. The research, it was prompted actually by the complaints from farmers and from some scientists as well. And some researches that some scientists they've done, we have seen that actually if we don't intervene, our cocoa will go away.
The project is being implemented by the KNUST, University of Aarhus and University of Copenhagen, both in Denmark, in collaboration with the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana. It will involve farms in Offense Municipality and Adanse North District and scientific laboratories in Ghana and Denmark. The 5-year project is supported by the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs through the NIDA Fellowship Center. Mr. Barkumi is an extension officer at Bofiedru District.
And then this project is going to be beneficial to me as an extension officer as I train. I meet with farmers, discuss issues with them, and it also be beneficial to my stakeholders, being the farmers, because we have been planting so many seedlings of late, but they've also been complaining of them dying out.
Nana Mwakupoku, a farmer at Offenso, added the project will help resolve the climate-related problems faced by farmers.
Unlike my father's days, the weather has changed, and most of our cocoa farms, the trees are fading. Most of the cocoa trees are becoming yellowish. The leaves are becoming yellowish due to the drought. But our zone is it bounds the savannah region, Kumada and the rest. So Abofo, precisely where my farm is experiencing those weather changes. So this project is very good for me. Very good for me, very good for me because of the location of my farm. And
the project will involve 5 PhD students and 2 master students. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
Taking you next to the Western region, Goldfields Ghana Limited, as part of measurement to help prevent and reduce worksite accidents and injuries, has procured an advanced collision avoidance system. The new system, according to management, is robust and could result in greater cost savings as compared with the previous system they have implemented. The mining giant in the Western region has for the past years made huge investments to improve its work safety systems. Inathalia Kwanzaa has more.
Company with their commitment towards protecting lives and saving their machinery from accidental damages introduced an operator fatigue system in 2012, an innovation that reduced the equipment damage cost from $6 million to $2 million. The successes were significant, yet there remained some key challenges. Management identified that the existing system were unable to avert equipment to equipment and equipment to person collision. BCM project manager George Asenso stressed that the system is a life-saving one that guarantees optimum protection for employees.
the life of a human being can never be replaced. When you are asleep as a project manager and you hear of an incident, the first question is, was there an injury? If this system have come to ensure that every employee working on the field will be notified when it's getting closer to a machine, and machine to machines will be notified, then it's a good thing. I am going to ensure that together with my team, we get this system maintained and get a value out of it. I am sure that down the line,
issue of equipment collision, either equipment to equipment or human being to equipment, is going to be an issue of the past, and we are grateful. I want to take this opportunity to thank Goldfields for extending their goodwill to us by giving us this system.
Business Improvement Management Kwame Ako, on his part, explained that the unique signatures of both machinery and personnel generated via collision avoidance device have been integrated into a system to monitor movements at the site.
In 2012-2013, we installed a fatigue management system, and then the intent was to reduce operator fatigue, and then when they were fatigued, the system will alert us as to when an operator is fatigued. And it worked pretty well for us. We were able to reduce our equipment damage cost from around 6 million to 2 million. But I realized there was still a gap in the system, in that the fatigue management system was not able to reduce equipment to equipment interaction and then equipment to personnel interaction. And then this gap resulted in a fatality where a truck ran over a spotter in 2015. So with that incident, then we realized we needed a more robust system to reduce equipment damage costs and also protect our personnel. So what this does is it adds another layer of safety to our existing safety management system, and then it gives us protection to our personnel on site. Over a period of 5 years, we'll be spending the order of $8.3 million, but this year alone we're spending $1.6 million on this collision avoidance system. Outside of 25 meters away, it flashes the amber, and when you get to 18, when you're 25 meters away, it's green. When you get to 18 meters, it flashes the amber, and then when you are 10 meters to it, then it's red. That's when it vibrates to let you know that you are in the danger zone of the truck.
For Joy News in Athalia Konsa, Western Region.
Now, government has re-emphasized its commitment to absorb the shortfall in the lump sum payment by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust to public sector workers who will retire this year. That's according to the Deputy Employment and Labour Relations Minister, Bright Rekubobe. The first batch of Ghanaian workers under the new Pension Act are retiring this year at the age of 60. They are expected to receive lump sum payments from their corporate trustees and monthly payment from SNIT. But speaking at the 10th anniversary celebration of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Mr. Rekubobe said government is committed to ensuring Ghanaian workers are satisfied.
This year, Ghana's pension reforms is 10 years. A major reform initiated by our government, led at the time by His Excellency John Ejekum Kufuor. It is a reform that also gave birth to the MPRE, which, among other things, is to regulate pensions through effective policy direction to secure income for the retired in the country. This year also marks the beginning of payment of benefits to retirees under Act 766. As a government, we have worked in concert with the MPRE to ensure that no worker retiring under Act 766 will be worse off. As a government, we also acknowledge some of the teething challenges in the payments and wish to note that we are working closely with the MPR and other stakeholders to address those challenges. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has assured the National Labour Front of his government's readiness to address all disparities in the payment of pension benefits to workers retiring this year. Mr. Chairman, I wish to reiterate that government will absorb the shortfall in the lump sum payment by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT to public sector workers who retire this year.
And finally, tonight, Best of Ghana has donated a food van to Food for All Africa after it initially made a donation of 1.7 million Ghana cedis to the non-for-profit organization. According to the Human Resource Manager of Best of Ghana, Charlotte Newman, the van will make more food available to the vulnerable in the community. Now, Nicholas Brown has more in this report.
Receiving the van donation, Executive Director of Food for All Africa, Chef Elijah Amo-Addo, urged investors to invest in Ghana Food Bank to ensure food security during these difficult times. He further indicated that infrastructural development has been one of the major challenges they have had to deal with.
The conditions under which we move the food must not be compromised before getting to the beneficiaries. And it demands a lot of investments like this. So it's one of the challenging things over the past 3 years we've had to do with infrastructure development, warehousing, because most often when we move this product, we take it to a warehouse, sort, and then redistribute to our beneficiaries freely. And because in the concept of food banking, food is supposed to be made availably free to those who can't afford. So most often than not, we are challenged with ensuring we meet the infrastructural demands that comes with our operations.
On her part, Human Resource Manager of BIDOF Ghana, Charlotte Newman, outlined the importance of the van donation to Food for All Africa, which, among other things, she believes the van will make more food available to the vulnerable members of the community.
We believe that what Food for All Africa is doing is a very good initiative, reaching out to the vulnerable people in the communities, even to the rural areas where you're not able to easily get access to. And we believe that supporting them by getting this additional van will enable them to go to these areas where people's attention is not really drawn to. But BASF wants them to go there and provide for the nutritional support that they can give to these people. We believe that the capacity would have increased, as my other colleague said. Capacity would have increased. Now they're able to reach almost 120,000 people, apart from those that were reaching beyond. And also 25 communities or schools have been added to this initiative through this additional van. So, and we know that enabling them to do this is a good cause, and we don't only stand on our value of care, but we stand on our value of care beyond skin.
BIDOF Ghana in October donated 1.7 million Ghana cedis to Food for All Africa as part of its localized efforts to ease the hunger burden and impact of COVID-19 on vulnerable members of the community. Nicholas Brown for Joy Business.
And on that charitable note, we end Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. We're back same time tomorrow.